Hello you guys, it is Dana. Welcome back to Decorate with Dana. Today's video we are doing what I feel is a very budget friendly but pretty drastic makeover here in my small powder room. We're also doing just a little bit of early fall decorating as a nod to the season coming up. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, so this is the vanity that's in the little powder bathroom. I love the vanity, but it's very basic, kind of builder grade. You know, I have these drawers popped out a little bit because I'm going to be painting, but I'm going to do that wood technique on this vanity and just see how we get it to come out. That could just make a whole new makeover in this space. I love the black. I painted the black last year, and because we have this black and white checkered floor, so I painted the black and I like it, but I'm kind of wanting to just lighten it up a little bit, but I'm not positive yet. So either way, I do want to paint this that kind of wood look. So I'm going to use the chalk paint and the wax method that I did on the mantle. So we're going to try that and see how we can get that to come out, and we'll see if it just leads to a whole room makeover or if I'll be happy with the way this turns out. I started out painting the vanity with the Krylon chalk paint in Baltic Birch. I put one coat of that. That just gives you a base. I'm going to put up here in the cards the original video that I did on my mantle. I definitely go a lot more into detail on how I do this whole technique, so you can learn a little bit more about it. I'm just going to go through it quickly here, but I'm putting one coat of chalk paint in Baltic Birch, and then I'm going to be taking the Behr Decorative Wax, going over that, painting it in kind of like what the grain of the wood, in the direction the grain of wood would go, with a chip brush, and then I'm going to be topping that with just a matte coat of polyacrylic to protect everything. But again, I'm going to have that video linked up above, and I go a little bit more into detail exactly how I do this whole process. I actually filmed this about 2 months ago, and I kind of lived with the vanity, with just the vanity in the dark painted room, and I loved the way the vanity turned out, and I still was just going to live with it for a little bit to see if I decided to paint the whole room. And I decided I definitely wanted to lighten up and brighten up the room. I did like the black, but it just, there's no windows in here, and it just made it feel a little dark. So here is a look at the bathroom before, with the vanity done, but before I decided to paint the walls. So I decided to take the walls, basically I wanted to color drench the room without painting the ceiling, because I hate painting ceilings. So I wanted to paint all of the trim, the inside of the door, and all of the walls Accessible Beige by Sherwin-Williams. But first I wanted to put this bonding stain blocker primer over the black. It just made it a lot easier to paint. Since I only needed to prime the black, I went through and did all of that first, and then I prepped the rest of the walls for painting. So the paint color in here was Burnished Clay by Behr, which I did like, but I wanted to just bring a slightest bit more tan into the space, as opposed to the gray that the Burnished Clay brought in. Although it looks very tan in these clips, it did pull a little bit more gray. The colors are very similar, but I love the way that the whole thing turned out, all one solid color. So I'm just removing all of the fixtures, taping off what I need to tape off. Don't mind all the holes behind the mirror. I'm putting up a mirror there, so I'm not going to bother to fill those in, but I went through and filled in most of the other holes and just left the one screw on the back wall because I knew I was going to be putting a picture up there. The next thing I knew I wanted to do was replace the light fixture. The one that we had in there, first of all, it did not let any good light in at all, and plus it was just a little too modern for this space. I want it to feel a little bit more like cottage-like bathroom. So I found this beautiful light fixture. I believe it was at Home Depot. I will have it linked down below. It's in a really pretty champagne gold, and it just really brightened up this room so much. Did have a smaller arched black mirror here, but I had this brown mirror from Target and I've had it for a long time. It's bigger. The browns match perfectly with the Vanity, and I just thought it looked much better with the light fixture and a little less modern than what the black arched mirror looked like. And then the rest of so I have mixed metals in here. I have black and champagne gold, which I do love mixing metals. So I wanted to just add a simple hook here for towels as opposed to a whole hand towel holder. And then I decided to just paint the toilet paper holder. So I got this champagne gold metallic paint from Behr. It's a little less gold than what I wanted it to be, but honestly, it's fine. It's not right near the hand towel hook or the light fixture, so I think it's fine and it's better than the black. I do have a black faucet and black knobs on the Vanity itself and a black door handle, so I do love mixing metals. I think that's a really pretty way to add some interest. And then I had that other shelf that was from Lowe's and I loved it, but it's not real wood, and that kind of annoyed me. So I picked up this super inexpensive, cheap wood floating shelf from Hobby Lobby and decided to stain it in my favorite stain, Early American. And the color just matches a little better because the other one was fake wood and it was like super dark brown. And then comes the fun part of decorating the space. I decided to add some early fall decorating in here. And this picture is from Hobby Lobby. It's probably one of my most favorite pictures I've ever purchased from Hobby Lobby. Very high end. I think I got it for around $35. And I think this is beautiful, and this can be kept up all year, but I think it looks perfect for the fall. Gets me every time. Lost in the city lights, our love's electric, right? You make me feel alive. Painting the back of the door was actually an afterthought, but once I had all of the trim painted and everything, I realized I definitely wanted the back side of the door to match the walls and trim in here, and it was one of the best decisions I made in here. Everything just flows together so nicely now. For the shelf decor, I decided to add this wicker vase that I did spray paint from Walmart, and these beautiful stems are from Amazon. They are slightly turning colors like you would see in early fall, and right now they are still unavailable on Amazon, but if they are available, I definitely will link them. They are one of my favorites. Then I'm adding just this really pretty glass canister that is from Target. I've had it for a long time. Adding a couple of decorative soaps. And then this little picture was a DIY that I did a while ago. It has a really beautiful fall landscape picture that I printed out on canvas printer paper and put it in this shadow box type of frame. And that's all I'm going to do here on the shelf. I think it adds a perfect nod to fall coming up, and eventually I'll probably add a little pumpkin or something on here, but I'm just doing a little early fall decorating. These checkered towels are from HomeGoods, and I think that they are perfect here. This little stool is from, I believe it was Marshall's. I love how it gives a little vintage vibe with the scalloped edges. And then this pretty fern plant is one that I've had from Target for a few years now. It is one of my favorites. I love the rustic pot that it has. And then now I'm just adding a little bit more simple, rustic kind of touches for fall here on the vanity top. And that is basically going to be all the decor I'm going to do in this room. So here is one more look at the before with the black walls, and I had finished the vanity in this clip, but the walls were dark and it had just kind of some decor that just really didn't fit the space. But here it is after. I think it looks so much better. I feel like it looks like a charming little cottage powder bathroom, which is exactly the vibe and the look that I was going for. This accessible beige has become my new favorite color, but just the changing of the light fixture and the vanity, the wood look of the vanity and the mirror, I just think it all came together really nicely, and it gives a nice little nod to fall coming up. Like I said, as the season draws a little closer, I will add a little bit more fall touches, but I like just keeping it simple in here. And this is a smaller room, but I am so happy with how it turned out, and I did this entire project for around $200, which I think is amazing. The most expensive thing I put in here was the light fixture. Otherwise, it was just the paint and the picture and, very few little things. So a little bit of paint can really transform a room for not a lot of money. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you are new here, I would love if you would subscribe to my channel and follow me over on Instagram at Decorate with Dana. We have so much fall content coming up, but we do have one more makeover coming up really soon. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.